I'm trying to make a Celtic knife, which is something shaped like that. It dates from the Iron Age, although it's going to be made out of steel. Specifically, it's going to be made out of an old bill hook because it's already heat treated steel, and all I'm going to do is use an angle grinder and a bit of fire. And it's got this really nice antique effect. I've made a cardboard template just to see, sort of make sure it works and fits my hand. Copied that and I've glued that onto here to make it easier to cut it and much harder to make a mistake. I was once using one of these and I managed to cut the tang off, which really annoyed me because I wasn't concentrating. So I thought that might help. And unfortunately I managed to lose the recordings of me making this and finishing it and decorating it. I'm quite pleased with it though. I think it's got a nice antique patina to it, contrast with the rather shiny steel bit there. The handle is simply leather bootlace that I wrap round. It was a little bit short, so I had to join it here. I was actually thinking of trying some proper Iron Age glue, but it's birch glue and it's messy and very smelly, so I used super glue instead. Probably very much an apprentice's knife, this one. I've been learning how to use a new machine, a bench belt grinder that I've bought, and I've never tried forging anything like that. So generally actually really pleased with it. The Celts themselves, I've tried researching this. There are some people who say they never existed. Age range for them dates between 750 and 600 BC to 4 BC, 12 BC, 63 AD. There are even some people who claim they never actually existed. One source says that the Celtic world extended from Ireland to Turkey and from Poland to Italy. One thing that is certain is that knives of this style turn up in a lot of Iron Age digs, apparently mostly in northern Gaul, which is now Belgium and France. Why ring? No one seems to know. The Saxon swords had a great big ring on it. There's various theories. It's easy to pull it out and you can sort of stick your finger in and make sure it doesn't lose I don't know. I think it's probably more decorative. They would have been cheaper to make as well, being a single piece of iron, although this obviously is steel, as are pretty much all the reproductions you can get. And that is about as much as I've managed to find out about these knives, this style of knife. I've seen one with this decoration on it, which I really liked. The idea that they had a leather wrapping is a bit of guesswork, but it's likely. Obviously, nothing like this would have survived the Iron Age. They may have had wood, but it's highly unlikely. But it is a nice, distinct, ancient, primitive knife, and it actually works fairly well. It would have been a multi-purpose tool. It would have been a weapon as well as your eating knife, your skinning knife, your chopping knife. It would have done a bit of everything. Let's see, shall we? Nice piece of leather. So let's say you've just killed a leather-bearing animal. Can we get through this? Oh yes, you can definitely skin a piece of leather with it. Can we do any bottle chopping? Unfortunately, the weather outside is a little bit iffy, so I've only got these little bottles. Let's see. Not quite as good as I hoped. Yeah, that'll do. Should we get a bit more extravagant? Let's see if we can get through 3 of them. All right, not quite, but it'd still make a mess of one. So it is quite sharp. I'm quite pleased I managed to get it quite sharp. And it has been, yeah, I think that'll do. So there we have a very brief look at Saxon ring knives, because there doesn't seem to be very much known about them, frankly. And I don't think I've added a great deal to the canon, but there you go. It's an interesting knife. They're not seen very often. And this is mine, and I made it with an angle grinder, a piece of the steel that you saw from the bill hook, and my homemade forge for doing that bit. More ancient knives to come, I think.